also hard to argue with the Cardinals at plus 220. It seems, it seems like a short number, but then again, as bad as they are at the quarterback position, we know Kyler Murray's not coming back anytime soon and could conceivably sit out the whole season. I'm speculating there, but given when he's going to be healthy, what's the point of bringing him back if they're 2-6 or 2-7 in the middle of the season? So you're led by presumably Colt McCoy. All the units, offensive line, defensive line, secondary, it's not good. And DeAndre Hopkins isn't there anymore. There's just not much to lean on. We still have James Conner there. He's kind of getting older. I don't see how you go away from the Cardinals, but is there any other team? Like, first of all, is the Cardinals your answer? And in the chat, please let us know who you like here. Is there any other team you'd even think about?
I mean, I think you laid out a great case, and you have a lot of the points that I was going to make. Chad is with us, too. I mean, I think plus 220 feels like, it's a short number, but I'm wondering, is it a free 2-1 bet we're getting here? I mean, you laid it out. The quarterback situation is a mess. Now, new coach, Cliff Kingsbury, drafted Murray for this reason, to play with him, to set up a system for him. Kingsbury's gone, and that did not work out well at all. That was a joke. So now they bring in Gaines. I don't know how that's going to work out either for a quarterback that won't be around. Like you said, if it's going poorly, if they're 0-8, if they're 2-6, why jump back in that situation? What is there to gain for him? So maybe he sits the whole year out. The roster is poor on paper. They usually draft pretty poorly. Those picks I don't think are going to pan out this year and make a big impact. So I just don't see where any skill position or anything is jumping off on paper that says they'd be better than any of these even bottom barrel teams. So I think it's Cardinals' easy answer.
Yeah, you almost go through this sort of process of elimination. Like, the Rams, I thought, were maybe in the conversation. Maybe Stafford doesn't stay healthy. Maybe Cooper Kupp doesn't stay healthy. And, when you look at their units, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, not great. But then again, Sean McVay is a pretty good coach. He's pretty creative on offense, regardless of who the quarterback is. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of Kyle Shanahan. I wouldn't put him in that class. But by the way, those two teams meet in week 6. So, I mean, to me, like, the winner of that game is probably, or I should say the loser of that game is probably going to be in a position to just mail in the rest of the season, because you got to figure both of those teams come into that game, with maybe 1 or 2 wins by their side, if that, on week 6. So something to think about. I'm surprised Washington is on that list, to be honest with you, because their defensive units, front 7, and even their secondary, it's decent. The Colts, that kind of surprises me a little bit, but you got Richardson or Minshew at the quarterback position. So I understand all of that. And the Buccaneers, I think, would be the other answer for me. I could see, it's not necessarily a negative on Baker Mayfield, but I could see that team just kind of collapsing because they weren't very good last year either. The only thing going for the Bucs is that their division is such a division where there are teams that they can beat on a pretty routine basis, I think. So I think that's why you go back to the Arizona Cardinals by process of elimination. You say, I think, even the Texans, I think they outwin the Arizona Cardinals.